The Central African nation of Chad descended into chaos and political unrest this past week. The week began on a positive note when the national poll body announced on Tuesday that presidential election, bringing an end to the 3-year junta rule, would be held on the 6th of May. The very next day, the government blamed an overnight attack on Chad's Internal Security Office on the opposition Socialist Party Without Borders, or the PSF, which is headed by Yaya Dillo. Claiming that several people had been killed, Chad's security forces lay siege to the headquarters of the opposition PSF. Dillo, a fierce opponent of Chad's transitional president, and his cousin Mahamat Idriss Deby Itno was killed in the army's assault on the opposition party's headquarters. How did this family feud go so horribly wrong? And what does it mean for the impoverished nation? Our next report gets you more details.
The Republic of Chad is the second least developed nation in the world. The current president, Mahamat Idriss Deby Itno, had come to power in 2021 after his father, Idriss Deby Itno, was killed while fighting rebels. The elder Deby Itno had seized power in a coup and proceeded to rule the desert nation for the next 3 decades with an iron fist. His son Mahamat had promised to hand power back to the civilians and organize elections within 18 months. But added another 2 years of transition, pushing back the transition period to the 10th of October this year. Despite his promises to the African Union to not run for the presidency, a new constitution adopted in a December referendum last year paved the way for him to contest, much to the chagrin of the opposition. His main opposition, though, came from within his family. Mahamat's cousin, Yaya Dillo, who helms the opposition party PSF, was a candidate for presidency against his uncle in 2021 as well, and had expressed displeasure at the ruling regime's manipulation in the name of rule of law.
We opt for a peaceful transition, even if this does not conform with our principles of acting within the law and our wish not to give the new authorities the chance to use the established institutions to perpetuate a new type of power that we do not want.
On the 27th of February, the national poll body announced that the first round of presidential election will be held on the 6th of May, and the final results will be declared by the Constitutional Council on the 5th of June. The next day, the government blamed an attack on the office of Chad ANSE, Internal Security Agency, in capital N'Djamena on activists of opposition PSF.
The Chadian government wishes to inform national and international opinion that an assassination attempt against the President of the Supreme Court was fomented by the Secretary in charge of Finance of the Socialist Party Without Borders, Abakar Torabi, who, according to the government, fomented the assassination plot on February 19th, which led to his arrest. However, the situation took a dramatic turn, with a deliberate attack by the individual accomplices, led by the elements of the PSF and headed by the movement's president Yaya Dillo, on the premises of the National State Security Agency, ANSE, resulting in several deaths.
Dillo denounced the attack against the Supreme Court president as staged and denied any involvement in the Tuesday night attack on the security agency. Escalating the tensions further, security forces were deployed on the streets of the capital. Internet and telephone services were disrupted across most parts of the country. The headquarters of PSF was surrounded by the security forces. Reportedly, PSF members came under attack while trying to retrieve the body of their colleague, Ahmed Torabi. And in a shootout with the security forces, the main opposition leader, Yaya Dillo, was killed. According to the communications minister, Dillo didn't want to surrender and had fired on law enforcement. The upcoming election was intended to return Chad to constitutional rule after 3 years of military-backed rule. But with the killing of the main opposition leader, a dark shadow now looms over the entire democratic process.